Come sit down and listen to me. It's time to open your eyes to a time in our history of secrets and lies. The nation was torn by a war far away, and the youth of America had something to say. They were drafting the young men to fight in the mud, and the soil of Saigon was soaking in blood. So the students stood up and they started to speak, from the halls of Michigan to the shores of the deep. We marched in the streets and we stood in the square. We lifted our voices and filled up the air with a guitar in hand and a fire in our soul. We fought for the peace that the government stole. Oh, the music was loud and the message was clear. We're ending the war and we're ending the fear. It started on campuses, a spark in the dark. Then 400,000 marched through Central Park. Dr. King led the way with a dream in his hand, demanding that peace spread across all the land. At the steps of the Pentagon we stood face to face with the guards and the walls of that heavily guarded place. In the streets of Chicago the cameras would spin, showing the world all the trouble we were in. We marched in the streets and we stood in the square. We lifted our voices and filled up the air with a guitar in hand and a fire in our soul. We fought for the peace that the government stole. Oh, the music was loud and the message was clear. We're ending the war and we're ending the fear. But the ultimate weapon we held in our hands was the music that echoed across all the lands. Creedence played loud for the poor working son, while John Lennon chanted that peace could be won. Edwin Starr shouted out, "What is war good for?" And the anthems of freedom unlocked every door. The guitars were sharp and the verses were true. They united the many to fight for the few. Then the tragedy came upon Kent State's green grass, when the guardsmen opened fire and the smoke started to pass. 4 students fell dead and the nation turned cold, but the spirit of protest could not be controlled. The veterans came home and they threw down their medals. No longer the pawns in the politicians' battles. They shut down the Capitol, blocked up the train, till the leaders in power could not ignore the pain. The music didn't die, no, it captured the cause. It rewrote the future and challenged the laws. When the radio played what the politicians hid, it changed the whole world. Yes it did, yes it did. The songs gave us strength when the nights were so long, proof that a country can right what is wrong.